Lawmakers have until August 31st, basically another week, to take care of all the legislation they want for this session. One of the big bills out there has a series of amendments that's designed to try to deal something to AB5, to fix it in some way or another so that it can help people that have been hurt by it. Bottom line here is one man here in Los Angeles has been very involved in trying to make this happen. You're about to meet him.
Stepping into sunlight in the morning dew.
Ari Herstand is a 35-year-old Angelino. He's a gig worker, goes from gig to gig playing guitar, recording music. This video retrospect is his latest.
But I had to let you go.
It's how he makes his living. But when Assembly Bill 5 went into effect January 1st of this year, even before COVID-19, life changed.
Best of intentions by the lawmakers who passed it, voted for it, signed it by the governor. You know, it's supposed to help workers, help the little guy from the big bad corporations.
But he says there were big bad unintended consequences. Where he'd normally give band members $100 or $200, AB5 required he incorporate himself, put the band on his payroll, pay for health insurance, all of which would drive the cost into the stratosphere. We've all heard about AB5's impact on Uber and Lyft, but there are others reeling from AB5, who are independent contractors. AB2257 would provide new exemptions by way of amendments retroactive to the beginning of the year. That would include some daily hire journalists, like photographers, photojournalists, videographers, and photo editors who are working freelance. There would also be musical groups, musicians, and certain others in creating, marketing, promoting, and distributing sound recordings of musical compositions. On 2257, Ari Herstand and others met with Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez seeking a fix.
We also started a petition simultaneously that got over 185,000 signatures by California music professionals saying AB5 doesn't work for us.
Herstand, Gonzalez, and others in the music industry met. She asked him and other musicians who were working with him to send language they thought would work for the Assembly Amendment Bill.
So we finally hashed out language for to give the music industry an exemption.
Herstand says that AB 2257 has passed the Assembly, and now it's up to the Senate. So, in retrospect,
We gave it all we had. In retrospect,
he's glad he did what he did, because if approved by the Senate, thousands will benefit, including himself, which would be music to his ears. The question is going to be, how big of a vote is this going to be in the Senate? It passed unanimously in the House. And another thing, this, Alex and Christine, is known as an urgency measure. And what that means is that if the Senate passes, if it goes to the governor, if the governor signs it, it goes into law immediately. It's retroactive to the beginning of AB5, and it doesn't have to wait until January 1st when all the other laws go into effect. Back to you.
Hal, musicians have been at the forefront of this fight. So is it looking like it's going to pass? Is there any concern here?
Well, I think they feel very strongly it is going to pass. Look what it did in the House. Unanimous approval by the House members. And so the question is, you know, how will the senators look at this? But you're right. Ari and other musicians were at the forefront of this. They had an impact. They got the Assembly member who wrote AB5 to add a new bit of language to make a new legislative piece. And you know what? They may have cause to celebrate, but we have to wait about a week to find out if that's going to be the case.